And here we are with dive number 2 on the day. Statistically, kind of a boring dive. Max depth of 33.7 feet. If I recall, that's even shallower than the first one. Max depth temp of nearly 79 degrees, so that tells you how shallow we kept it. So this dive, I do remember this one. This was the Spoonbill dive. I wish I had a map of Mermet. So I looked for a map. I told you in the first segment, I wanted to pull up a map and trace the dive route we took. And maybe I didn't look that hard, but I couldn't really find one on their website, which is very irritating. I mean, they were selling slates. That makes sense. But they should have a detailed PDF map on their website. And if they got it, I'm missing it. Feel free to slap me in the comments because I probably am missing it. I feel like I've seen it before, but I just cannot find it tonight. So, anyway, I got fed up with looking. So, for this segment at least, no detailed dive path of what we did. But we dropped down, for anyone familiar with Mermet, we dropped down on the, near the 85-foot platform on the near the old dock. On the wall, you can see we dropped down about 30 feet, 32, what is that reading? I'm looking at my dive log in real time while you guys are just staring at a picture. 32 feet. And then we followed the wall, the right-hand rule. That's always keep the wall to your right. You can guess what the left-hand rule is. Right around Spoonbill Point. We made it all the way to the airplane, and then we did a navigation exercise. And actually, I was thrown into the fire on this one. So my buddy Terry was like, all right, let's follow the wall around till we get to the plane. Then follow a 50-degree heading, I think it was. Again, I have to verify this on the map. I think it was 50 degrees to aim back kind of to where we started. But it was really, we fudged it a little bit to land in between the old primary dock and the primary dock. And that's a pretty wide landing area, but you know, when you're in the muck, in the void, in the abyss, you have nothing but your compass, you got particulate matter swirling around your head. It's very easy to get disoriented, to feel like, I swear, so I'm following this compass, and actually, he kind of told me to do the navigation. I was expecting to follow him. But I said, all right, I'll jump in there and do this. And you're following your compass, and, you know, diving's a 3D sport. It's not just backwards and forwards, left and right. It's up and down, too. And it's very easy to lose your bearings, lose your self-awareness, so to speak. Because you can be staring at this forward direction, and before you know it, you're either sinking or you're floating. And, it's a lot. It sounds stupid, but it's a lot to keep in mind while you're in the moment, particularly when you can't see a thing. Because when you're in the murk and the muck, it's really very hard to tell visually if you're descending or ascending. In fact, the only way I can tell really these days, the quickest way to tell anyway, is the pressure on your ears. You feel it long before you see it. Before you know it, before I knew it, I was doing this navigation course, I was navigating, and I could feel my ears just releasing pressure. And it's like, oh, shoot, I'm rising, and the depth gauge is right there on the gauge cluster that I'm staring at, but I'm really not looking at it like I should be. And yeah, I popped the surface on this. I mean, I didn't go all the way to the surface, but I was, going up in the water, and it just takes practice. I need to do this more. It was really a really good exercise. And I did actually, if I can pat myself on the back, I did hit the target. I landed in between the docks. It took a runaway ascent to get there, but I did get there. In fact, that spike you see on the right, that's probably where that happened. So yeah, as I said, I didn't pop to the surface, but I popped up to about, 14 feet? Yeah, I was down. You can see it. I was down at 30 feet. And I don't know what the time scale on this. Well, within 2 minutes, I guess. 2-3 minutes, about 3 minutes. I popped up to 14 feet. And that was way faster ascent than I was looking for at that time. You can see I quickly dropped back down to 21, 22 feet. Try to stay there to the end. I don't know if I have any of this recorded. Just like the first video, I'm watching these on the fly. And I don't remember enough about what I recorded, what I didn't. I did take a peek at the first video. I'm already super disappointed because my camera is pointed too far forward and you can see way too much in front of me instead of ahead of me. You'd think after almost 100 dives I'd have this stuff figured out, but clearly I don't. One of the perils of wearing your camera on your head instead of holding it in your hand so you know exactly what you're pointing it at. Anyway, let's get to the water. This shield is really cloudy. I don't know what's going on there. Just tap it off and clean it, I guess. Oh, I'm ready. Before we get into the dive commentary, I need to thank my sponsor for this segment, Ghost Pepper White Hots. Do you reminisce making Christmas cookies in gingerbread houses with red hots, aka hot tamales? You could eat them by the handful, but they still didn't quite pack that fiery punch, did they? Ghost Pepper White Hots are here to rectify that. Made with real ghost pepper extract, one of the hottest peppers ever engineered. It will add that extra kick that's always been missing from your cookie cutter sugar cookies. Now is your chance to finally get revenge on Santa Claus for bringing you that raincoat instead of Tickle Me Elmo. He'll be lighting your fireplace on the way up the chimney. Ghost Pepper White Hots. Find them in the baking aisle. Alright, finally. Got the surface conversation out of the way, got the sponsorship out of the way. We down in the water, and my GoPro is tilted way too far forward. But the silver lining is you can see my computer a lot better. I believe that last depth was, 28, or last one, 25, 28. We dropped down to about 32, I think it was, if you look at the dive profile from the introduction. Yeah, this is, there's 32. 65 minutes of airtime left. Yeah, this was the Spoonbill dive. This is where you drop down and follow the wall and go around the bend. Well, no, you don't go around the bend. You actually almost do a 180 following the wall because it kind of curls back around. But we did not see any spoonbills, at least I didn't. But I've been on this dive before, and I fall into this terrible habit of staring at the wall. My cousin Tim can attest to that. And his wife, cousin Michelle. Yeah, we do this dive, and they actually look for fish, and I just stare at the wall. It's just basic instinct for me. I can't really explain it. The last time the three of us did that dive, it was October 2021, I think. 2022. Oh, we're going that direction. But they saw some serious fish, and I saw a bunch of rocks, a bunch of rock formations on the wall. But it was cool. It's cool. I'm trying to learn, but I don't think any of us saw fish on this dive. At least if Terry did, he did not let me know afterwards. So I guess we're just following the wall at this point. You can't see it. It's got to be on our right. Yeah, if you look at a map of Mermet, and I guess I didn't look hard enough. I swear I've seen one of these online somewhere. and man, I looked for it. I really wanted to trace the route we took, and I just couldn't find a high resolution. I found like a picture of the slate map or something like that. You know, it's stupid. They should have a PDF or a JPEG or something that's like more pixels than I'll ever be able to count on one hand, you know. I just didn't really see that. Maybe it's there. It probably is. But I missed it. And here we are. Yeah, like this dive footage just is not that interesting, unfortunately. I mean, what are we looking at here? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Some particulate floating in the water. I'm surprised it's blue. Usually Mermet shows up as green on my GoPro. But it, are those jellyfish? I don't think so. In my experience, it's the wrong time of year for jellyfish, but man, those kind of look like some jellyfish. It might be. I don't know. I'm not a jellyfish expert. Those might have been jellyfish, and I did not even realize it at the time. Ooh, Terry turned his light on. Like that's going to do anything. That was an air bubble. That was not a jellyfish. Yeah, probably not jellyfish. I don't know. I suspect. Where are we going? Going almost north. This camera is pointed so far forward it hurts. I definitely should have straightened that thing out. You know what I need? I need like a block. Like a block that I cut out of some wood. Or a 3D printed thing. That enforces an angle. That like, you know, that I can... Because like on the, so the GoPro, I put it on this headband, and you know, you can screw it in there with the normal GoPro mount. But you can tilt it, obviously, and you know, I need like a mount that I can put in between the camera and the base that it's screwed into to like get the perfect angle that I want. So I don't have to keep guessing at these things. This camera is pointed very far down right now. I mean, if you guys watch my videos, you know that in normal operation, you're not going to be able to see my computer in the field of view of the camera, and that's exactly what you can do now. So maybe it will end up being a good thing. I mean, I'm getting some pretty good footage of Terry, you know, kicking through the water there. It's not like there was anything directly in front of me, and maybe, you know, it's actually probably kind of cool just staring at my computer, or not staring, but, you know, seeing my computer every time I look at it, because normally you can't see that kind of thing. Like I said in the first video, the big number up top is my depth, the big number on the left is my air time, meaning my computer knows the rate at which I'm consuming air and the depth that I'm at, and it takes all that stuff, shoves it into a black box algorithm, and it spits out, you have this much time left before you run out of air. Sorry, you have this much time left at your current air consumption at this current depth before you run out of air. Pretty cool. I don't pay much attention to that number, actually. I do look at it. The no deco time, that's the important one. That's how much time you have left before you have to take a mandatory decompression stop. And if you saw my watch there, there was, you know, slash, vertical line. That means I haven't been down deep enough for enough amount of time to even warrant thinking about a no deco stop. So I'm still extremely safe right now when it comes to the bends. And that number, usually I don't even get a number there. Usually my no deco time is just nothing. Which is good. That means I'm diving very conservatively. Yeah, I wouldn't even expect to see something there unless I'm taking multiple dives in the day with short surface intervals. This was the second dive of the day. We didn't go that deep the first time. I'd have to double check what the surface interval was. But obviously, the longer you sit on the surface, the more nitrogen you bleed out, so... You know, your computer is taking all that into account all the time. So you do your first dive. I think for my computer, it waits 48 hours before it considers the next dive a new one. If you do your next dive before 48 hours, then it considers it a follow-on dive, and, you know, it holds over all the nitrogen retention, nitrogen burnout, surface interval, all of that. But yeah, this particular dive is not deep. Look at it, 23 feet. Big deal. 67 minutes of air left, essentially. That's a lot. Well, for me, that's a lot. But 23 feet is not that deep, so. Look at me, I'm trying to position my freaking watch in front of the camera. Unbeknownst to me, I've been able to see it the whole time, and I put my wrist up in the air, and it was above the camera view. So yeah, this camera is very much pointed too far forward. Like if you're walking down the street, this camera's staring at my feet instead of staring at what's ahead. That's a little disappointing, but you know, there wasn't nothing ahead, so you're not missing anything. And that's at 18 feet. We're getting shallower. Terry gotta be like, come on, man. Let's go, man. Alright, since there's absolutely nothing dive related to talk about, you guys seen Stranger Things 4? I'm gonna turn this into a Stranger Things review, and you know what? I might include that in the title because this is bad. I've been in Mermet a lot, and there's just nothing. There's nothing here. There's nothing. I guess all these times in the past, I just haven't had my camera on for this. I blame it. You know what? I know what the problem is here. I blame it on the 256 gigabyte micro SD card I got. I think I got that, I don't know how many years ago. Not that many. Year and a half ago, maybe. No. Not even that far. So, I got it. I distinctly remember this now. I got it just after Christmas. Because I got a dashboard cam for my for Christmas. And I needed a memory card for that, a micro SD card. And while I was at it, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get an upgraded, bigger one for my, what am I doing? Let's check. Yeah, I do that sometimes, just checking it out. Yeah. There's my hands. But I needed a micro SD card for my dashboard camera. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get one for my GoPro also. They're just like stupid cheap now. I got a 256. You know, they come in different speeds. You gotta get the fast one for video, you know, digital cameras, that kind of thing. And I think I got one 256 gigabyte card, fast write speed, you know, like upper echelon of the cards in terms of speed. For like $36 or something. It's crazy. Like I'm getting old now. I remember growing up. I'm a computer guy, and you know, I was growing up. My dad always had a computer in the house, and I remember he had these big honking external hard drives, and these things were, you know, easy 12 inches by 12 inches, if not more. Probably 12-inch width, 14-inch depth. You know. And thinking back, these big honking hard drives were like 256 megabytes. I think he had like a 500 megabyte one. That was big time back then, you know. And now I just pick up these little freaking cards, little micro SD cards. I feel like if I sneeze, I'm gonna break them, and they just hold gigabytes and gigabytes worth of data. And the 256, like, that's small potatoes, you know. They've got terabyte cards now. I don't know about the speed. My dashboard cam does say in the instruction manual that it maxes out at 256 gigabyte cards. I don't know why that is. That seems kind of weird to me. Yeah, I'm gonna check. Oh, there's some yellow sauce. What's up? I got so bored, I'm gonna turn this camera on myself. Hang loose, baby. That's right. See you next time. Yeah, but these 256 cards, those are like, what is that, 1/4 of a terabyte? Yeah, you can definitely get terabyte cards now. Maybe even, surely bigger than that. But the write speed for the, you know, the video, the pictures, the write speed is the important thing. You gotta have a card that supports fast write speed. And I have no idea how they're manufactured differently this way or that way. Did I drop my camera? What's going on here? I took it off for a second. Alright, yeah, we straight now. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Write speeds on these cards, yeah, but it's just incredible how technology has progressed, and these things have just gotten smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and faster. You know, those big honking hard drives my dad had, platter hard drives, you know, yeah, electrical motor in there spinning up the disk platter, and he had a read and write head. And that was pretty common, you know. Kids these days with their solid state hard drives, you know. It didn't used to be that way. You actually had a physical hard drive with a lot of moving parts on the inside. Now it's just all static, you know. Oh my gosh. This is the worst dive footage in the history of dive footages all around the world of all time. What am I recording right now? This is just blue water. There's nothing to see. There's nothing to do. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna whip out my phone and start doing a Sudoku or something. Like, what are we doing? What am I doing here? Oh, there's something. Hey, some rocks came into view. At least it's something to look at, you know? Where's Terry? We can check Terry out for a second. Terry, I love Terry. I'm not saying that just because he might watch this. He's a good dude. He's a instructor, first of all, so he knows his knows his stuff. I'm sorry. But yeah, he's a good dive. He's just a good dive buddy. I like diving with Terry. I feel like we've done it enough now where we kind of, you know, we're certainly comfortable with each other. And yeah, he wants to dive. You know, that sounds weird. I certainly don't want to name any names, but I got a dive buddy here and there. I belong to a dive club, and it's kind of crazy how hard it is to get people to come out and dive. You know? And I get it. People got lives. You know, I'm the outcast here. You got normal people who are like married and kids, and, you know, the whole deal. But yeah, it's just, I've learned it can be hard to get people to come out and dive. But Terry's like always right there. Terry always wants to go. And that's great. I love it. So because of that, and Tom, if you watch my dry suit video from March, Tom was not on this dive. He is on the next one. In fact, it was just me and Tom on the next one because Terry was in Egypt diving. But if Terry had not been in Egypt, he would have been here. He would have been here. Or would have been here, fast forwarded a month from this dive last week for me. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Point being, it's kind of hard to get people to dive. You think if you're in a dive club, it'd be easy to get people to dive, but, you know, schedules, personal commitments, those sorts of things, they do get in the way. before you know it, it's freaking September, October. It's getting cold. And you think it's tough in the summer to find people to dive. It is really tough in the winter. Really tough. Me being included. It's just... I went diving in Mermet in February. Way back when. That's when I got my dry suit certification. And I did that in February. And baby, it was cold. What direction are we going? What does that say? South? Southeast? I guess we're going southeast. Unless I can't read a compass. But it was so cold. It was actually like the air temperature cold. It wasn't that bad, but you know, water has a very high specific heat, as I'm trying to remember from high school chemistry. And it basically what that means is, I might have the terminology wrong, but what that means is it takes a lot of energy for water to change temperature. So heat energy and temperature are not the same thing at all. You come here in February, you know, the winter months, and that water is cold. The lake turns over, so it's spring fed. The quarry turns over. So this Mermet Springs is a spring. Oh, I just bumped the freaking mic. It is a spring fed quarry, and so starting from like 60 feet and down, it's basically the same temperature, 24/7, 365. But the top will kind of turn over. So in the summer, the top gets warm. In the winter, it gets cold. So in the winter, the top is actually warmer or colder, and the winter, the top is colder than the bottom. Bottom here meaning 60 feet and below. And in the summer, the top is warmer than the bottom. So that's kind of a weird dynamic, but it's just, I tell you, the worst part about dry suit diving in the winter, it's on the surface, really. Well, maybe not the worst part. But it's just, when it's that cold, your hands, at least my hands, they disappear. Oh, I found a bicycle. What do we got? Oh, that's so pretty. Yeah, you know what? Can't even read it. It's washed out. Cannot even read it on the video. I can read it fine in real life. I'm going to have to remember every single time if there's something I want to see or read or what have you. I cannot shine the light directly on it. And suddenly we fist bump. I can't remember the fist bump. What is this? Where are we? Oh boy, what is he saying? Oh, this is where, okay, so, yeah, alright. Coming back to me now. So this is the airplane. Yeah, we hit the airplane. And this is our predetermined hit the coordinates, or hit the heading. Sorry, hit the heading. You can't quite see it. So there's a window. So, damn, I can't. I'm pointing at the screen. You cannot see what I'm pointing at. So this compass I have, you're seeing the top-down view of the cardinal directions. There's a little slit kind of underneath that. Maybe you can kind of see it there. Yeah, you can kind of see it with the red line. See the red line there, right on the bottom, right in between the 180 and 160. So there's a little window there on my compass, and that's for like a heading in degrees. So that's normally what I look at when I'm pulling out the compass, because if you actually plan the stuff on the surface, it's you usually kind of plan it in degrees and reciprocal. You plan it in, you're like, here's the going out heading, and here's the reciprocal coming back heading. I mean, those kinds of things. You know, it's not always that straightforward, but yeah, I'm staring hard at this compass right now, and I'm not staring at my depth. That's a problem. So depth is just the next gauge down. I'm in such a habit of looking at my computer that for this particular task, I do not need to look at my computer. All I need to do is look at the compass. Look, see, there we go. Look at my computer. I don't need to do that. I'm doing that to check the depth, and I have the depth gauge right there. Look at it, I'm 15. Well, all right, I'm dropping down a little bit. There. While I'm navigating like this, there should be no reason I look at my computer. Everything I need is right there. I got direction, I got depth, and I got air. Air is the bottom one. And the only reason I look at my computer for important things is the middle gauge, which is depth, and the bottom gauge, which is air. I also look at my computer for... What else do I do it for? Oh, dive time and temperature. Those are the two main ones. Yeah, right here. Terry's telling me, drop back down. I was going way too shallow. I was hoping I could catch the depth on it. There's 15. Yeah, I should have been deeper than 15 feet. We started out at least 25, I think. And you get so wrapped up in sticking to the compass heading. And it can be very disorienting, so you can't really see it here, but there can be, and maybe it didn't necessarily happen, but there can be a lot of particulate matter floating around, and you gotta force yourself to follow that compass. I was doing this, I can tell you, I felt like I was swimming in circles, and it usually does. I don't know why, which I guess my sense of direction, unaided by technology, is that bad. You get 10 seconds into this, and you feel like you're swimming in circles. You feel like you gotta kick extra hard with one leg to turn just to stay on course. And it's like, I'm just swimming in circles, but you're not. You gotta trust your equipment. Yeah, I'm just trying to stay on course. And it's difficult. You got that, you got your depth, you got your air. It's a lot. So when we did this, so part of getting advanced open water certified is... Hold on. Let me X this window out. So part of getting advanced open water certified is completing a navigation course. And you do it with your buddies. And you do it a few times, but when you actually do it, they make it so your buddy only looks at direction. That's all she is responsible for. And him and his partner is monitoring depth and kick counts. At least that's the way we learn. So basically, I'm taking all those roles and wrapping them into one here. And as I recall, my buddy and I did pretty darn good in the navigation. So we did it at Mermet. So Mermet has a diamond navigation course. Think of a baseball diamond. It's like that. Where... they got a buoy. I think it's every 100 yards. It's pretty far. It's 100 yards sounds like a lot. Maybe it's 100 feet. I can't remember. I have to look it up. But basically the visibility Mermet is ish, and so there's like a beginning to this course, and you drop down on this buoy, and I think 15-20 feet underwater. They have a rope from the first buoy to the second buoy. And that's for practice. So that's where you can swim in the direction, check your compass, what direction you're going. That's where you can, it's mostly for counting your kicks. So you know how many kicks does it take for me to go 100 feet or however long it is. I think it's 100 feet. And you're like, okay. We only got one segment left. I gotta wrap it up. But you got that rope between the first and second buoy. From the second to the third buoy, you got nothing. It is navigation or die. And then from the third to the fourth buoy, you got nothing. So it's navigation or die. So, you know, obviously the goal of the course is to go from first to second. But, you know, everybody can do that because there's a rope. And second to third, no rope. Third to fourth, no rope. Fourth to first, no rope. And my instructor at the time, he told me, yeah, that he's been doing this for a long time, and not many people ever.
And 050 was supposed to put us between the two docks.
Not many people. Oh, we were at the surface. I was still recording. I thought I thought this was the first video. I was like, darn it, I missed it by one. Finish that thought. Not many people ever finish the course first try.
Oh, it's hard.
You feel like you're swimming in a circle.
Yeah, swimming in a circle. I just got it. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed it. Third dive is the best one, so stick around for that, and I will see you there.